Hello friends, we are ready to do another experiment. I'm very excited about this one. It's going to be super cool. The name of this experiment is called Ghost Eggs. So to do ghost eggs, the first thing you'll need is an egg. Okay, it is just a normal raw egg. You will need one for yourself, and then if you have any science partners or siblings, you will need an egg for them. You will need some vinegar. You will need a jar with a lid. It has to have a lid. You will need some tonic water with quinine in it. It has to have the quinine. And you will need a black light. If you don't have a black light, you won't need the tonic water either. What this experiment is going to do is it's going to take the shell off of the egg, leaving just the insides, and then the quinine is going to make it glow under the black light. So even if you don't have a black light, it's still super cool to see the inside of an egg without the shell, and they're kind of bouncy like bouncy balls. So still do this experiment, you'll still have fun. All of these things can be picked up at Walmart, okay? Easy to get to. But the most important thing that you will need for this experiment is your parents' permission and their supervision. Please don't try to do these things without a parent being or guardian knowing what you're doing. They won't be very happy with you. Let's get to the experiment. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your eggs and carefully put them into the jar. Okay, so I'm going to put my jar on its side. I'm going to carefully slide the egg in, and then the second one. And carefully stand it up. Oh, we're good, it didn't crack. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to pour in the vinegar and the tonic water. If you are not using the tonic water, you just pour the vinegar in so it covers the top of the tallest egg. If you are using the tonic water, first off, it's fizzy, so be careful how you open it. You're going to pour half tonic water and half vinegar. Now, we know that real scientists don't just stick their noses into things because that can be dangerous for us. So if you want to see what these things smell like, waft it towards you and take a sniff. I kind of think this smells a little bit sweet. Tell me what you think it smells like in the comments. Okay, so we're going to pour half of the jar full of tonic water as soon as the fizzing goes down. And the other half with the vinegar. Okay. Now, neither of these things will hurt if it gets onto your skin, but be careful not to get it into your eye because that will hurt you. So after you have all of the ingredients in the jar, we're going to stick the lid on there, and it takes about 12 to 24 hours for the shell to completely dissolve, so we'll check in on it every so often. Hi guys, so we are 14 hours into this experiment. The eggs are all covered in bubbles, and you can see some white foam right up here. That's the dissolving eggshell. If I turn this a little bit, you can see a crack right there in the shell. So what that means is that as the shell was dissolving, some of the tonic water got into the egg and caused it to expand a little bit, which cracked the shell. And that doesn't matter because we want the shell to dissolve anyways. But it's a good sign. It means we're getting there. So remember, don't open the jar yet. We still want it to keep breaking down the shell until it's completely gone. We'll check back in on it a little bit later. Hello friends! We are at hour 19 of the experiment, and Miss Stewart messed up. Remember how I told you guys not to touch the eggs and to leave the lid on? Well, I was super curious about what was going on inside of there, so I took the lid off and I pulled an egg out and I accidentally popped the egg. So this is what we're looking at. Okay, one egg is still in there. It's still going strong. And then if you look closely, you can see the egg white still in there from the egg that I popped. I tried to get it out, but it's slimy and won't come out. And then over here, you can see the yolk of that egg still perfectly intact because I didn't break the barrier there. Okay, and this is what the shell looked like. It was mostly dissolved. Okay, but I can bend the shell around my fingers because all the strength in there was taken out by the vinegar as it started to dissolve. So there's this update. I'm gonna clean this up and I'm gonna leave that egg alone until it's done. We'll check back in later. Okay, you guys, we are at 22.5 hours. The egg is still at the bottom. It looks like some of the shell has come off and some of it is still clinging on there. So you can still see the egg white from the egg that I broke up at the top. That's what that is. Don't be grossed out. So it might take a little bit longer than the 24 hours we thought it would, but we will keep checking in. I'll keep you updated. Hey guys, here we are at 24 hours. I don't think that it is quite done yet. So we're gonna give it just until tomorrow morning, just to make sure it's nice and dissolved. So we'll check in tomorrow. Okay guys, here we are at hour 38 of our experiment. Most of the shell is gone now. I'm going to show you a view from the top looking down to show you that the egg really has gotten quite a bit bigger. Okay, because it's absorbing some of that tonic water. The shell is almost gone, so we're almost there, ready to look at it. Hey guys, we're at 47 hours. It looks like the shell is completely gone. So our next step here is that we are going to carefully take it over to the sink and pour everything out and rinse the egg off to get all of the extra foam off, and then we'll see it glow. Okay, you guys, we're gonna rinse this off. How we're gonna do this is we are going to carefully pour it. Your hands are gonna sink after this. Remembering that it's just vinegar and tonic water, nothing's gonna hurt you. We're going to carefully pull the egg out. Do you guys see that? And how I can just rub that extra off. That's where we want it. So we're going to carefully rinse this off, get all of that off of it. Notice how careful I'm being with it. I'm not squeezing it, it's just sitting in my palm. Just getting the rest of it off. There it is. Okay, I guess it's the moment of truth. We're gonna find out if it really glows. Okay, you guys, so it doesn't film super well, but it is glowing, which is really cool. Okay, so there you go. There's our ghost egg. Ooh. Okay, you guys, so our ghost egg, you just kind of saw it glow. It doesn't glow very well in the video because it just doesn't pick it up as well. But it will be super cool if you do it. Also, I gotta show you guys this. I told you it was bouncy. So what's left of this egg is just the membrane. So under the shell, there's this membrane, and then there's the white and the yolk in there. And you can see the yolk in there, especially when you guys do it yourself, and you can see it move as you move the egg. And you can feel that membrane. That's why the egg got a little bit bigger, because that membrane let water into it. It let the tonic water into it, which is also why it was glowing. So there's our ghost egg. Have fun, be careful, and don't pick up your egg while it's still in the jar. Bye guys.